The Santa Ana winds, hot and dry, whispered tales of unrest as they swept through the canyons and into the heart of Los Angeles. It was 2024, a year already burdened with anxieties, and the air crackled with a nervous energy. The city, usually pulsating with life, felt strangely subdued, as if holding its breath. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows over the sprawling metropolis, a plume of smoke appeared in the distance, near the Griffith Observatory. At first it seemed innocuous, almost commonplace in a city where wildfires were an unfortunate reality. However, this fire, fueled by the relentless Santa Anas, had a different story to tell. It spread with a speed that shocked even seasoned firefighters, devouring acres of land with each passing minute. The fire roared through the hills, a relentless beast devouring everything in its path with an unquenchable thirst. The flames danced and leapt, fueled by the dry brush and strong winds, creating a symphony of destruction that echoed through the valleys, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The once lush and vibrant landscape was now a desolate wasteland, the trees reduced to skeletal remains and the ground covered in ash. Homes were reduced to smouldering rubble, their walls crumbled and their roofs collapsed. The memories and possessions of countless families turned to dust in an instant, their inhabitants forced to flee with nothing but the clothes on their backs. The fear and uncertainty etched on their faces as they hurriedly gathered what little they could carry, hoping to find safety away from the inferno. The air, thick with smoke and the acrid smell of burning wood, made every breath a struggle. The sky, once clear and blue, was now a murky grey, obscured by the billowing smoke. Stung the eyes and scratched at the throat, people coughed and rubbed their eyes, trying to find relief from the relentless assault on their senses. Panic spread through the city like wildfire itself, the streets filled with the sounds of sirens and the shouts of emergency responders. The chaos was palpable, as people desperately tried to outrun the flames, their hearts pounding with fear and adrenaline. The sense of urgency was overwhelming, as every second counted in the race against the fire. Their faces illuminated by the fire's eerie glow. Emergency services worked tirelessly, their efforts hampered by the sheer scale of the disaster. The fire's reach seemed endless, and the task of containing it monumental. Their efforts hampered by the sheer scale of the disaster. Firefighters, police officers and volunteers all joined forces, their determination unwavering despite the overwhelming odds. Firefighters, their faces grimed with soot and sweat, pushed their limits, battling the blaze with a courage born of desperation. Their eyes, red from smoke and exhaustion, reflected the intensity of their struggle, battled the blaze with a courage born of desperation. They fought not just for the land, but for the lives and homes of the people they had sworn to protect. Police officers, their voices hoarse from shouting over the roar of the flames, directed traffic and helped evacuate residents. Their presence provided a semblance of order amidst the chaos. Directed traffic and helped evacuate residents. The fire raged on, consuming everything in its path, its insatiable hunger seemingly impossible to satiate. The battle was far from over, and the community braced itself for the long fight ahead. Consuming everything in its path, its insatiable hunger seemingly impossible to satiate. The flames showed no mercy, and the fight to save what remained was a testament to human resilience and solidarity. Its insatiable hunger seemingly impossible to satiate. Yet, amidst the devastation, there was a glimmer of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times the human spirit can endure and rise from the ashes. There, amidst the swirling smoke and ash, a word began to form. It shimmered almost ethereal, as if painted on the very air itself. The word, clear and undeniable, hung in the sky above the Inferno Allah. Panic-stricken faces streaked with tears and soot turned upwards, gazes fixed on the celestial calligraphy. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd, followed by a stunned silence. The impossible had unfolded before their eyes, a divine inscription etched against the fiery canvas of the night sky. Whispers, hushed and awed, began to circulate. Some saw it as a message of hope, a beacon of comfort in the midst of despair. The news spread like wildfire itself, carried on the winds of disbelief and hope. People across the city, and indeed the world, watched in astonishment as images of the fiery inscription flashed across their television screens. The internet buzzed with speculation, theories ranging from the scientific to the supernatural. Some dismissed it as an elaborate hoax, a trick of the light, or a clever manipulation of technology. Others saw it as a sign of the end times, a harbinger of divine judgment. Still others, their hearts heavy with loss and despair, clung to it as a symbol of hope, a promise of divine intervention. Debates raged in homes, on street corners, and across social media platforms. The faithful saw it as a confirmation of their beliefs, a sign that they were not alone in their suffering. As the night wore on, a curious thing happened. The darkness that had enveloped the city began to lift, and with it the heavy blanket of fear that had weighed down on everyone's hearts. The fear that had gripped the city began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of awe and wonder. People who had been strangers just hours before now found themselves united by a shared experience, looking up at the sky with a newfound sense of hope.
People gathered in the streets, their faces illuminated by the flickering glow of the fire, sharing stories and offering comfort to strangers. The firelight cast a warm glow, creating an atmosphere of camaraderie and solidarity. It was as if the flames themselves were a beacon, drawing people together in their time of need.
The word in the sky had touched something deep within them, awakening a sense of shared humanity that transcended their differences. It was a moment of profound connection, where the barriers that usually divided them seemed to melt away, leaving only a sense of unity and collective strength.
The city, usually a cacophony of noise and activity, was strangely quiet, as if holding its breath. The usual hustle and bustle had given way to a serene stillness, a rare moment of peace in the midst of chaos. The only sounds were the crackling of the flames, the distant sirens of emergency vehicles, and the murmured prayers of the faithful. These sounds, though normally associated with fear and panic, now seemed to blend into a harmonious symphony of resilience and hope.
It was as if the city itself had paused, taking a moment to reflect on the fragility of life and the power of the unseen. The night sky, dotted with stars, seemed to whisper secrets of the universe, reminding everyone of their place in the grand tapestry of existence.
The fire, though still a threat, no longer seemed as menacing. It had become a symbol of transformation, a catalyst for change that had brought the community closer together. In the face of adversity, they had found strength, unity, and a renewed sense of purpose. As dawn broke, painting the smoke-filled sky with hues of pink and orange, the fire finally began to subside. Exhausted firefighters, their faces blackened with soot but their spirits unbroken, finally managed to contain the blaze. The city, wounded but not broken, slowly began to pick up the pieces. The word "in the sky," though faded, lingered in the minds of all who had witnessed it. It was a topic of conversation everywhere, from coffee shops to newsrooms to places of worship. People debated its meaning, its significance, its authenticity. Some saw it as a message of hope, a sign that they were not alone in their suffering. Others saw it as a wake-up call, a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of faith. The days that followed the fire were a blur of activity. The city was engulfed in chaos, but amidst the smoke and ashes, a sense of purpose began to emerge. Volunteers flocked to the affected areas, offering food, water, and shelter to those who had lost their homes. These selfless acts of kindness were a beacon of hope in a time of despair. Donations poured in from all over the world, a testament to the global outpouring of support for the devastated city. The sheer volume of aid was overwhelming, filling warehouses and community centers to the brim. The fire and the miraculous sign that had accompanied it had captured the world's attention. News outlets broadcasted the event around the clock, and social media was abuzz with theories and reactions. News crews from all over the globe descended upon Los Angeles, eager to document the aftermath of the disaster and explore the meaning of the celestial inscription. Reporters interviewed locals, capturing their stories of loss and resilience. Theological scholars, scientists, and conspiracy theorists alike offered their interpretations of the event, fueling a global conversation about faith, destiny, and the nature of reality itself. Debates raged on television and online, each perspective adding a new layer to the unfolding narrative. The city of Los Angeles, once synonymous with Hollywood glamour and urban sprawl, was now a symbol of resilience, unity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Communities came together, transcending social and economic divides to rebuild what had been lost. The fire had exposed the city's vulnerabilities, but it had also revealed its strengths. In the face of adversity, the people of Los Angeles demonstrated an unbreakable spirit, proving that even in the darkest times, hope and humanity can prevail. The word in the sky, though faded from view, continued to resonate in the hearts and minds of those who had witnessed it. It became a part of the city's fabric, woven into its history and its identity. The event sparked countless conversations about faith, destiny, and the nature of reality itself. For some, the word in the sky was a confirmation of their beliefs, a sign that they were not alone in their faith. For others, it was a wake-up call, a reminder of the importance of spirituality in a world increasingly focused on the material. And for still others, it was simply a mystery, an unexplainable phenomenon that defied rational explanation. Regardless of their interpretation, the event had a profound impact on the city of Los Angeles. It brought people together, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. The night Los Angeles witnessed a miracle was a night that changed the city forever. It was a night of terror and destruction, but also a night of hope and unity. It was a night that reminded people of the fragility of life, but also the enduring power of the human spirit. The fire, though a tragedy, had ultimately brought the city together. It had revealed the depth of human compassion, the strength of community, and the importance of faith in times of adversity. The word in the sky, regardless of its interpretation, had served as a powerful symbol of hope, reminding people that even in the darkest of times, they were not alone.